Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims. Hello out there. Hope you are all having a good day. Why, oh why, is there evil in the world? That is what St. Augustine is writing about today. And in his writing, he is showing us how he was struggling with understanding evil. So let's read on page 136 from Book 7, Chapter 3. But although I declared and firmly believed that you, our Lord God, the true God, who made not only our souls but also our bodies, and not only our souls and bodies but all things, living and inanimate as well, although I believed that you were free from corruption or mutation or any degree of change, I still could not find a clear explanation without complications of the cause of evil. Whatever the cause might be, I saw that it was not to be found in any theory that would oblige me to believe that the immutable God was mutable. If I believed this, I should myself become a cause of evil, the very thing which I was trying to discover. So I continued the search with some sense of relief, because I was quite sure that the theories of the Manichees were wrong. I repudiated these people with all my heart, because I could see that while they were inquiring into the origin of evil, they were full of evil themselves, since they preferred to think that yours was a substance that could suffer evil rather than that theirs was capable of committing it. I was told that we do evil because we choose to do so of our own free will, and suffer it because your justice rightly demands that we should. I did my best to understand this, but I could not see it clearly. I tried to raise my mental perceptions out of the abyss which engulfed them, but I sank back into it once more. Again and again I tried, but always I sank back. One thing lifted me up into the light of your day. It was that I knew that I had a will, as surely as I knew that there was life in me. When I chose to do something or not to do it, I was quite certain that it was my own self, and not some other person, who made this act of will, so that I was on the point of understanding that herein lay the cause of my sin. If I did anything against my will, it seemed to me to be something which happened to me rather than something which I did. And I looked upon it not as a fault, but as a punishment. And because I thought of you as a just God, I admitted at once that your punishments were not unjust. But then I would ask myself once more, who made me? Surely it was my God, who was not only good, but goodness itself. How then do I come to possess a will that can choose to do wrong and refuse to do good, thereby providing a just reason why I should be punished? Who put this will into me? Who sowed this seed of bitterness in me, when all that I am was made by God, who is sweetness itself? If it was the devil who put it there, who made the devil? If he was a good angel who became a devil because of his own wicked will, how did he come to possess the wicked will which made him a devil, when the Creator, who is entirely good, made him a good angel and nothing else? These thoughts swept me back again into the gulf where I was being stifled. But I did not sink as far as that hell of error where no one confesses to you his own guilt, choosing to believe that you suffer evil rather than that man does it. There's a book called The Giver, which I think is a must-read for all people. It's not a very big book, but it's definitely a must-read. The main character, Jonas, lives in a community where everything is sterilized to the point that no pain or suffering is to be found anywhere. Houses are all the same, so that no one is envious. Everything is decided for you. Death is never seen. People just disappear when it's their time to die. Babies are not grown in a woman's womb so that the woman doesn't ever feel pain. A family is just gifted a baby. If there are any defects in anyone, they are quietly gotten rid of. The temperature is controlled to be perfect. I don't know exactly how, but there's no excessive heat, no cold, no snow, no rain. Your job is decided for you. The main character, Jonas, is given the job of the giver. Now, the giver has to learn from the person who has that job, and the current giver has to give memories to the apprentice. And what he gives are memories of things that Jonas has never experienced before. Scary things, sad things, truly enjoyable things. And Jonas has to keep all these memories to himself until he gives them on. No part of watching this community makes you want to live in it, even though it's void of suffering or evil, though I would argue that the way the leaders of this community set things up is evil in and of itself because it strips people of free will. But the reason that you don't want to live in it, if you read the book or watch the movie, is because it is void of love and virtues. Everyone's free will has been stripped away, and because of that, their personalities are also gone, and the people are just almost robotic. Jonas's parents don't really know how to love their children. Nobody knows how to really love because love requires sacrifice and suffering, and nobody is allowed to do that for anybody. And so consequently, they live in this very bland, sterile, manufactured environment. Now, when people say that they wish God would have just made humans good without the ability to, be evil in any way, and what they mean by that is they mean lacking in free will, our lives would look like the community and the giver. We would be robots programmed to follow God. But we don't want to be loved that way. We don't want to be loved because somebody is forced to love us or programmed to love us, like a robot would be programmed to tell us that it loves us. We don't really want that. So why would God want us to love him in that way? Because we have free will, and God necessarily had to give it to us, otherwise we would love him. We wouldn't really love him, but we would love him just because he programmed us that way. But because we have free will, we can choose the good or we can choose to do evil. And evil is the absence of goodness. And anytime we choose to do something bad, we miss an opportunity to bring goodness into the world. And now we can whine and complain about why God allows this, but it's up to us. It's really up to us. God gives us the power to choose, and evil happens because either we do bad things, we've chosen to do it, or we omit doing something good when we could have. St. Augustine writes, quote, "I was told that we do evil because we choose to do so of our own free will and suffer it because your justice rightly demands that we should," unquote. I think he means that he was told by Christians this, because this is not what the Manichees believe. And yes, this is correct. He doesn't fully get it at this point, but this is correct. Of course, if you don't do the good that you ought to do, you are going to suffer consequences for it. I mean, that's just justice. That's just the nature of things. Evil is the absence of goodness, and so there's going to be some kind of negative consequence. Now, this doesn't make accepting evil easy. And this just, for a lot of people isn't the kind of answer they want to hear or an answer that is satisfying to them. And ultimately, understanding evil in the world is going to be one of those things that we're probably not going to fully get until we get done with this earthly life. And the thing is what we all wish that we lived in a utopia, and someday, God willing, we will live in heaven, in paradise. But now is the trial, to see if we really want to be there. Not just be there because God made us to do that. Love can only really be if we have the free will to choose to love. And we all, I'm guessing, would rather know love than not know love. The only reason that the story of the giver seems horrific to us is because we, the readers, know that they are lacking in love. They don't realize it, but we know how much better it could be if they were allowed to know true love and to experience virtue and to experience sacrifice and all that comes with that. Now, like I said, it does come with a cost, but I would much rather experience authentic love than never experience it at all. We will pause here for today, Catholic Pilgrims. I'll see you back here soon, and until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.